Welcome back, a very warm welcome. I wanted to talk today about toenail fungus. Do you or someone you know have toenail fungus? They've either had it for a long time, they've used all kinds of topical ointments, and it's really hard to eradicate. They've still got it. It's ugly, it looks deformed, it deforms the nail, especially if it's in more than one toe. People are embarrassed by it, they'll cover it up, they just have anxiety over it because they just can't seem to get on top of it to get that clean, healthy nail back again. Now, many podiatrists will not only use topical ointments, they'll also suggest antibiotics and antifungals. And some of these antifungals are very strong medicines with side effects. But again, they'll do some improvement, but inevitably it'll come back somewhere down the track. Now, with all the decades I've had in having retreats and having people with cancer show up, there is not one person who has a cancer diagnosis that I've worked with who doesn't have or has had toenail fungus, even if it's only one toenail, as well. And this to me is very indicative of the state of what's going on inside, because no one talks about the origins of this. The origins are internal. Everything that shows up on the outside of your body has an origin that comes from within. All right. Now, what is behind toenail fungus is a chronic parasitic infestation going on. It's been going on for a long time. Now, I myself, when I had a cancer diagnosis this year, I also had a large toenail that was getting repeated fungal infections. Often the nail will start to lift up a little, the toenail's discolored, a little bit of thickening, peels off. And so what that's saying is that your immune system is really struggling, it's underfunctioning, it cannot get on top of this infection. So, of course, most people don't look at their diet. So there's two things I'm going to talk about today to help eradicate this. The first thing is to cut out all of their source of fuel, which is sugar. So we go on zero carb, even if it's only for 3 months, but this is how you're going to eradicate it forever. The second thing is to do intense liver cleansing, because what's behind these is liver flukes, and they will embed into the liver and proliferate the toxins they excrete, like a formaldehyde almost going through your body. Because often what will accompany this is a sweaty, smelly excretion coming from not only the feet, but also underarms. They tend to go together because these kind of parasites have these kind of toxins that that's their waste products. So the type of liver herbs I use and suggest for other people is things like burdock, St. Mary's thistle, can be powder or tinctures. Blipperum is also good. These are the stronger ones. And also anti-parasitic herbs, clove oil, sweet wormwood, and green walnut. Now, of course, I then also have done ivermectin, so that can also help. But this has to be done over a 3-month period minimum, along with a zero carb diet, because you do not want to give any of these parasites any source of fuel. And of course, I've spoken before about ivermectin and how it also has the ability to cut off any of these signaling, particularly in cancer, but also with parasites, to stop this cycle going on. So a lot of people have putting out videos and saying you have to do binders and this kind of thing. Well, the thing is, possibly, but if you're zero carb, it's not necessary. Right? Sometimes I will take diatomaceous earth, which is really silica, and that'll chop up, slice through eggs. That's what silica does. It's like nature's knives, and it will slice up these eggs. But other than that, as long as you're having plenty of high fat, zero carb in particular. It's got to be high fat. You will eventually eradicate this. You'll have clean, pink tinged nails with no sign of infection, which are like mine. Now, the statistics, what they say to us is over 65, it's something like 50 to 60% of the population who have toenail fungus. And they just say it's going to increase because we've been told that, it's highly contagious. It comes from, sharing showers, being in swimming pools, walking on grass, all kinds of things. I'm not saying that that's not implicated, but of course the original cause is a lowered immune system, which is what this infection, parasitic infestation, is doing. Of course, shoes. People, they say to wear breathable shoes because a lot of people will have sweaty feet at the same time. Admittedly, there's more shoes around that have rubber on the inside, so our feet are on rubber, and that will cause us more to sweat. But this isn't just confined to people who live in, subtropical or tropical environments. It's shown that, seniors are more susceptible to these things because, overall, their immune system is weakening. This is what the statistics say, but of course, these are people who are eating a lot of high carbs, a lot of sugar in their diet, and have poor mitochondrial function. So along with that, they've found toenail fungus often goes with diabetes, of course, chronic fatigue, other metabolic disorders as well. So if you know of anybody, and this is something that's happened to you, and you finally are fed up with the whole thing and you really want to get rid of it, this is where you go to. So we treat it as a chronic parasitic infestation of liver flukes mainly. And we use those herbs I've just mentioned, and we stay on it for 3 months. And I can guarantee you it'll go. I mean, like I said, with the cancer diagnosis I had a little bit, totally gone. I've never had all my toes totally pink, totally healthy, no thickening, no deformity of any kind, and no sign of any fungus whatsoever. So I hope this will help you today, and pass this information on to others if they are also plagued with this, because as I said, most people get a lot of anxiety when they can't get rid of this, and they don't want to wear open-toed shoes anymore. They don't even want to go to the beach or don't have anyone look at it. So it can really affect people's self-esteem and confidence in how they go about their daily life. All right, thanks for listening, and I'll be back soon. Bye for now.